everybody, it's Kevin Discussed with Midwest Photo. This week we are hosting the virtually cool Midwest Photo Feature Fair, where we're going to be talking to local photographers and friends of ours who do all kinds of great work. And today we've got Maykell Araica, who we're going to be chatting with about video and vlogging must-haves. How you doing, Maykell?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah, you're friends with Steph here in our shop, and
Yep.
she shoots alongside you, which is awesome. And I know you've got some really cool stuff that you do. Anywhere we can direct people to when it comes to seeing your work and do you have a website?
Yeah. So my website is peakandsparrow.com. Peak as like a mountain peak, and the letter A and D, and sparrow like the bird. That's where you would find my my wedding work. And for a video, like you can find a little bit of video there, but I mostly focus on like doing educational tutorials and that sort of thing. So you can probably find that on YouTube, and that
Cool.
You can just Google my name, I guess.
Awesome. We'll make sure when we send out this video with the email blast that we include Maykell's information in there, so you can check out all of his cool work, both on his website and on YouTube. So now I know you do wedding videography, photography, and you run a tip-filled YouTube channel, which is awesome. I've been watching a few of the videos myself. And plus, you're a dad, right?
I am. I have two little ones. I have a 6-year-old now and a 2-year-old.
That's quite impressive. How do you find the time to balance all of that?
You know what? My wife will tell you that I don't. But the truth is that I try my absolute best to make sure that I'm heading home when I'm supposed to be home. If I travel quite a lot, I go out of state to shoot, to film weddings, to shoot engagement sessions. So anytime that I'm out of state, I try to compensate for the time that I'm gone with coming back home and staying strictly home. Of course, like right now, that question could have not come in a more timely manner. It's like October is to photographers what April is to accountants, right? So like we're constantly busy. So right now, that's actually something, that work-life balance, that I'm trying to navigate through very carefully. But I guess the trick is just to like spend as much time with your family as you do at work, if not more.
Yeah.
Potentially, like probably, most definitely, you should spend more time with your family. But yeah,
that's really good advice, man. That's really good advice. Now, you said you go over, you do work in other states too. You'll actually cross state lines. What's the farthest you've gone for a job?
The farthest that I've gone for a job, well, it's in between. Honestly, like I have to like take a look at Google Maps and to check, but it's between Jamaica and California. So
wow.
Yeah, and Iceland maybe, but Iceland could potentially be closer than California. I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah,
all the way to Iceland. That's impressive.
Yeah, so it's been definitely a wild ride.
Yeah, cool. What's the thing? Like, what drew you into the visual arts?
So honestly, Kevin, I was always into documenting things, that being like drawing, writing from the time that I was a little guy. So I didn't grow up in the United States. I grew up in Nicaragua, which is the country that is north of Costa Rica in Central America. So I grew up very, very, very poor. I didn't move here until I was 19. So it was about 10-ish years ago. So access to technology was very limited, and it was a hot commodity if you had a camera. So I knew people that had cameras, and I was always drawn to them. So when I moved here to the States, I got my hands on a camera, and I mean, the rest is history. It kind of took off from there. I had to make up for all the years that I didn't have access to technology. So it kind of took off from there. And then visual arts just kind of like came along with the territory.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, what was your first camera that you got?
My very first camera was the Canon Rebel XS.
Okay. I remember that was my first digital, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're of the same Canon line there. So that's pretty cool. It was like 10 megapixels. I remember this, and they still make the Rebel.
They still make the Rebel line.
The Rebel series. I think they're on the T8i now, and it's a great little camera, especially for for video. It's some of the stuff that you do. Now, let's say you're talking to maybe a beginner or a kid who's wanting to start up like a YouTube channel or get a following on social media like TikTok or Instagram. What would be your advice to them in terms of the actual pieces of it, like kind of philosophical advice, but then also what would be, this is the second part of the question, what would be your first recommendation to them on gear? Like, what's the first thing you would tell them to get?
All right. So let's start with the philosophical part. And
Sure.
I'm going to come out and say this not as an expert on this field by any means, but I can attest that I have found some success on being consistent with your work. So like if you put out work consistently on YouTube, consistently on Instagram, consistently in any like social media platform, you're gonna get a good track over time. So for me, this has proven to be difficult because I'm a full-time working like wedding photographer and filmmaker. So when it comes to shooting weddings in the middle of the summer, that's kind of my low season. So like you're going to see a spike from my videos through winter. And curiously enough, during that off season, during my winter season, that's when I start gathering more of my following, more of my views on my channel. So like consistency is key. I think this was proven by Casey Neistat. At some point, Casey, I think he turned 30 and he decided that he was going to daily vlog, and his channel exponentially grew. I highly recommend that if you are a person if you're a kid or anyone really that is looking into getting into content creation and content marketing and just trying to make it on YouTube, check out this video, this channel. This guy name is Patty Galloway. So look up Patty Galloway on YouTube, and this guy does exposés on how YouTubers got to where the point where they are, and he breaks them down into like, hey, this is where they started, this is how many videos they were putting out, this is the kind of content, this is how those videos were addressed, and this is how they grew. So if you're looking to grow, definitely check that out. It's very in-depth. Growing a YouTube channel is a pain in the butt, but it's worth it if you can sustain it long term. As far as gear goes, I feel like the camera industry, and Kevin, you can probably talk about this too. You work at a camera shop. I feel like the camera industry has taken notice to how much people are getting into vlogging and content creation for themselves, especially now in times of COVID. Like if you went to the store during the shutdown, you could not find a webcam. You just couldn't. You could not find a capture card. Like that was a hot commodity. So during these times and times when content is king, people are getting more and more into it. And I feel like camera companies have taken notice and come out with great solutions for vlogging and for small creators. I personally use, and I can't show you this right now because this is the camera that I'm using as my webcam right now, but I personally use the Canon M50 when I started.
Okay.
So when I started, I was using the Canon M50. It has a flippy screen. It shoots 4K if I needed to. There's a slight crop. And I picked up a kit lens, like a 10-18, I think it is. And honestly, that and the Rode Video Micro, which is this little guy here, this is like more than enough than what you will need to get started. A lot of people like to talk about the Gorilla Pod. Like this is the 5K Gorilla Pod, which is great. But honestly, like if you're just getting started and you want to go bare bones, you can just go of this, and you can just kind of hold the camera with your hand until you can work your way up to getting more gear. But to start, I would highly recommend the Canon M50. It's done right by me. It's a great little photo camera. It's a great little video camera. It's portable and compact, and particularly when I'm traveling, when I'm going abroad or going to another state and I need to pack light for myself, that's my go-to.
Yeah, those are great tips, honestly. Consistency, going back to that, and I am an original Neistat watcher myself, and I know his background with Tom Sachs and how awesome he has made his channel. And really, when you watch something now, you can. I can almost immediately tell it's a Casey Neistat video. In terms of the gear, great options there. The Canon M50, which is a mirrorless crop frame camera. Use it as webcam with the Canon software. You can hook it up to a capture card. It's a great little photo camera. You're right; it's got the little articulating screen. One that just came out now. I know you just showed off a camera there with the Rode Video Micro, which is a great mic. But that's an XT4, right? That's a Fujifilm XT4.
So I graduated from the M50, and I am now shooting anytime that I go out west and shoot vlogging content or educational content, is shot on this camera. This is the XT4. I have it paired up with the 10-24 image stabilized lens, which pair with the in-body image stabilization of this camera just makes it like a walking tripod, like a walking gimbal,
Yeah.
really. And it's got the little articulated screen, eye detection, so I don't have to worry about ever being out of focus. It will just track me, and this is my go-to now.
Yeah.
So,
and now that one's a little bit more pro in terms of the Fujifilm line. And I don't know if you saw the recent news about their newest camera, the
yes.
XS10. Now, I'm just gonna quickly plug that one because I think that's a great vlogging camera as well.
Absolutely.
It's got the 5 or 6 stops of IBIS inside, just like the XH1 or the XT4, and it has pretty much the same sensor. You've got 26 megapixels. You can shoot 4K. You can shoot f-log. Now, the only difference between the XT4 and the XS10 is the XT4 that you've got is weather resistant. So, you get caught out in a little bit of a drizzle, you're going to be safe. But with the XS10, you don't have those capabilities. But at an entry level price of $999, I personally, I call that one like the perfect starter camera because you can grow into it. You can grow into it whether you're a photographer or you're a vlogger or you're trying to become a videographer, and it even has that articulating screen as well. So
I think at some point last year when Fujifilm came out with the XT30, I made a video about the XT30 and I just like kind of boldly called it. I was like, for the money, this is probably the best walk around camera on a budget, like hands down. And now that they've come out with this new one, it's even better. Like I've been begging for them to make a fully articulating screen, and they finally came out with the XT4. So now with this like new model that they just came out, you're absolutely right. Like for content creators, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, kind of just switching gears, I had brought up before, and you have mentioned a few times at this point, you're a wedding videographer and shooter as well. And I know that can be a kind of a tough scene, having worked it myself, a tough scene to break into and work. What's your advice to those who are wanting to capture weddings on a professional level?
So from both ends, from the photography standpoint and from the videography standpoint, your client experience should come first. If you're going into the wedding industry to do anything, to be a photographer, to be a filmmaker, to be a planner, to be whatever you want to do in the wedding industry, the entry level, what's expected of you is to be good at it. Because in this industry, there's so much information, there's so much coaching, there's so much teaching on how to take a great photograph, how to make a great image, how to take a good video. But client experience is what's gonna make you stand apart from the rest. But as far as making content that is compelling, making content that your clients will love, that should be your entry level. That should be something that comes with the territory. So I would highly recommend that you continue to train yourself on becoming a good filmmaker, becoming a good photographer, but also putting the work and effort that goes into maintaining a good relationship with your clients, keeping your client experience above it all. And as always, when it comes to photo and video, story is king. You can make the dopest, most coolest shots in the world. You can go and get a giant crane and make something super unique. But if the story is not there, your video is going to feel a little stale. So always focus on story. Like a good story will always trump anything else. That's why we have the Academy Awards, right? Like, that's why a cool looking Michael Bay movie doesn't win anything.
Yeah.
But you do have great stories, and those will win stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great advice. Now, kind of touching on that client experience that you talked about, I know a lot of people, when trying to break into it, they have trouble trying to gain that base of clientele, and they try a bunch of different marketing techniques, whether that's, tagging your photos and making sure that they're, the top result on Google, or, I know one of the big techniques right now is even geotagging those photos so that they show up on Google and everything. So with client experience, I think that's a great tip, because if you can make that client experience special and important, they're going to tell their friends, and their friends will maybe hire you and then tell their friends, and it kind of becomes exponential. Have you done anything beyond kind of a word of mouth in terms of marketing that you could share with somebody just getting started out that would help?
Absolutely. So this is very like, guerrilla style marketing, what I'm about to explain. So this is Instagram mining to the finest. Okay. So huge tip. If you're willing to put in the work to do this, it will pay off. I promise you. But getting up every morning and it's spending 30 minutes to an hour of your day on this kind of marketing will definitely pay off. So what you have to do is play off to the geotagging that everybody else is doing for you. So clients that go, or people that go to weddings, will undoubtedly take a selfie and tag that venue. So you're going to go and search the venue. For example, let's take Jorgensen Farm, for example, in Westerville. So Jorgensen Farm, I'm going to go get up in the morning and see what happened this last weekend at Jorgensen Farms. So I'm going to go search the location, Jorgensen Farm, and I'm going to click on recent and start looking at all the photos that are coming in from the recent events that were happening there. And then I will find a couple that it just looking super cute, just taking a selfie at a wedding, and then I go and tap on it, go check. Are they engaged? Great. Are they married? Okay. If they're engaged, they're my target. So I'm going to go and follow this person, and I'm going to write it down on a little piece of paper. And now I know that from that day forward, until I can connect with this person, I'm going to be going to that account and liking the latest post that they have, commenting on her pictures, like giving value. So like you're gonna spend a lot of time targeting the people that you want to work with by giving them value. Gary Vee says, jab, 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 right hook. So you're going to give until it's time for you to ask something. And by the time that you ask for something, you've given so much that this person will look at you and go like, oh, wow, like you actually, been there from the beginning, or go to your friends. Here's another tip, like go to your friends who like are maybe even married already, and call them like, hey, like when was the last time you had a sweetheart session done? Like when was the last time you got pictures taken with your spouse? And then you go out and you take those photos and then you use those to promote yourself. And then you tell that friend like, hey, if you love the photos that I gave you, do you think you would be so kind to share this on your social and kind of give me a little bit of a shout out? You'll never receive if you never ask. So don't ever be shy about asking when you give value, but be sure to give value before you ask.
Yeah, that was just amazing advice, and I think that anybody watching this video right now that's wanting to get in this business, that's a key takeaway right there. And it follows kind of that original tip that you said. You're being engaging with clients even before they're a client. You are engaging with them, and showing them that you care about the relationship. You want to capture that love. And that's incredible. That's really, really good advice, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Quite a bit. Let's kind of shift back into gear mode here. Now you go on a lot of shoots now, whether you're out vlogging or making a video, or maybe just on a simple basic photo shoot. What is the one thing that is something photo oriented that's always in your camera bag before you go to a shoot? Like you've got to make sure it's in there, other than the camera and lens, obviously.
Other than the camera and lens. Honestly, this is gonna be the dumbest thing you've heard, and like it probably means absolutely nothing, but I'll explain.
Okay.
There's always a pack of gum, and it's not because my breath smells bad, but here's why. Every time I open my bag and I see that pack of gum, I will tear up a little piece of gum, and it will force me to slow down. It will force me to slow down while I'm going to shoot and just kind of like reconsider. And like I would take that little pack of gum and I would offer it to my clients. Like, hey, do you guys want gum? And it kind of helps me break the monotony of the shoot a little bit.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. So like sometimes it's not gum. Sometimes it's like fruit snacks or candy or like a snack bar, but it's always going to be something in my bag that's going to push me or make me slow down on the day of the shoot, on the day of wedding. If I'm filming a vlog, if I'm filming a couple, if I'm filming a commercial project, it's always going to be something that is going to push me and make me slow down so that I can, regroup, take a look at what I'm doing, and then, carry on from there. So that's the non-gear part. Now, as far as the gear part of what's in my bag, always, aside from my camera and my lenses, are a little extra, tripod plates.
Okay, quick release plates. Yeah.
Quick release plates, because you honestly, like, you never know. You will be the hero if you have that. So I have that, and I have a little screwdriver.
Yep.
So Yeah, so like little quick release plates and little screwdriver, you would be the hero if you have those things sometimes. So like I try to keep a couple of those handies, that being the Manfrotto one, or I different quick release plates. I have 3 different ones that I use. So
Okay, cool. That's
yeah.
actually a really good idea. I often will kind of dig in my bag a little bit and be like, "Ah, I really wish I brought my quick release plate. I've got my tripod here, and of course, I
Yep.
have no way to attach it." So,
Yep.
and then also on the tip for the little screwdriver, like a
Mhm.
little even 3-legged thing makes this little
Yep.
tools thing, and it's got an Allen wrench. It's got a flathead, so if you've got one of those flathead style screw in for the plate,
Yeah.
that tool is great, and it's got a bottle opener on it. So if you're
Oh,
at a
win.
wedding,
Yeah.
and somebody grabs a beer, they don't have a bottle opener on them, crack
Yep.
it right off. So it's a great little tool. I think that's it.
Microfiber cloth.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah, you gotta
yes,
have that microfiber cloth. Even
absolutely.
like even if you're working with a client that like it's the littlest things, right? So like if you can to provide value to somebody else, like, hey, can I clean your glasses really quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And especially if you're on a shoot with maybe even there's kids involved in the wedding, and
Yep.
they pick up the kids, and the kids of course touch glasses, and then
Right.
you got smudges all over the glasses that you're never going to be able to Photoshop out, right? So
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
especially in video, it'd be impossible to even try to attempt
Hmm.
something like that. So just grabbing the glasses, be like, I'm going to clean these real fast for you. That's a great tip. I think that's a
Yeah.
really cool tip for still engaging with your clients and showing them that you care about the images that you're capturing of them,
Yeah.
um, which is really cool. Awesome. Great tips. Great gear to have in your bag there. Now, one last question I've got
Yeah.
for you. So as photographers, we often gift ourselves these expensive items. We're buying our bodies, we're buying our lenses. We're not asking loved ones to to finance these types
Right.
of things. But this year, I know you've got several photo friends, some here in the shop, some outside the
Hmm.
shop. What do you think you would gift a photographer that would be photo oriented as a primary gift, maybe as a stocking stuffer, as a small thank you for assisting, second shooting? What's something that you would get with them for them that you think's on their wish list that's not too expensive and would be really cool?
Yeah. So definitely not a lens coffee mug.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my
not a
gosh.
lens coffee mugs, you guys.
No more mugs. No more
It's
lens mugs,
it's
please.
2020. Since the day they came out, like I probably have like 6 of them, and yeah, I mean they're somewhere around here. But I will say this, and this goes just about with anything really, but for photographers particularly, giving somebody the gift of experiencing something will always trump anything physical. For example, if you have the means to buy someone a one pass to a master class, to like an Annie Leibovitz master class. And I think for during Christmas, they have these deals where you can buy the one class. And it can be like, I don't know, I think it's like $40 when I bought one, or like the Jimmy Chin adventure photography class. Or buy someone a massage, maybe they just got done with the wedding season, a half hour massage certificate, or a gift certificate to their favorite taco place, and then just like write a little note saying like, hey, like, thank you so much for your friendship, it means the world to me, I know you love this place, and I'm sure that you could probably use the break, so here it is.
Yeah.
So I would say give someone the gift of experience. um, or if you want to buy something actually physical, there's always those little things like we were talking about. So the 3-legged thing, little tool, right? So it's one of
Mhm.
those things that you don't know that you need until you have it, and you go like, how did I go my whole life
Yeah.
without owning this? So there's lots of like little things that can really be helpful. Storage organizers, little bags that keep your storage nice and
Memory card
organized,
wallets
memory
and
card wallets.
yeah.
All those sort of things are far more useful than a Lance coffee mug.
Yeah.
And that was my tip. Just like, give someone the gift of experience, or give them a utility something.
Yeah, yeah. And to speak on experience, that can go for gear as well. So like
Yeah.
if you get a gift card for Midwest, for example, somebody could spend that on a class. You could buy
Hmm.
one of the classes we've got. We've got hybrid classes right now where we're teaching them both online and in person. Or you can use that gift card towards a rental. Let's say you know that. your friend really wants to upgrade to a full frame camera, but they can't quite afford it yet. Well, if you get them a gift card, they could rent a full frame camera for 3 weekends, depending on how
Yeah.
much you got on that gift card, which I think is a great tip. I think the gift of experience is a really unique and special thing to give somebody.
Yeah.
Whether that's just a simple break at their favorite taco shop or getting them a class or whatever it
is. Attention listeners, tacos. This guy.
Your photography is powered by tacos.
Powered by tacos. That's right.
That's awesome. Well, Maykell, I appreciate your time today, buddy. I really, really love all the tips that you gave here and all the advice that you had. Just really valuable stuff within this video. And guys,
awesome.
we're going to have these videos up online on our YouTube page and our social media, and we'll be sending these out in the email blast for our virtually cool Midwest Photo Feature Fair. I want to give a special thanks to Maykell Araica from Peak and Sparrow Photography and Videography. Thank you so much, man. Again, we really appreciate the time. Check out his work online. We'll send out a link, and we'll have some of his work up on our Instagram, hopefully here soon. So everybody have a good day.
I appreciate it. All right.